Hello, everyone. Breaking news from The Athletic this afternoon. About 20 minutes ago, The Athletic released an article, which is in the description below if you want to go read it yourself, suggesting that Daniel Kretinsky is interested in purchasing a 27% stake in West Ham United. So who is Daniel Kretinsky? He's a Czech Republican billionaire. He's worth £3 billion. He's got 10% stake in Sainsbury's, which is the biggest stake that any one person owns themselves. He's got stakes in the likes of Royal Mail, Macy's over in America. He's worth $3 billion. He's got a few quid. But in terms of the footballing world, he's the Sparta Prague president. 10 years ago or so, he purchased 40% of Sparta Prague, and he still is president of the football club. And the Athletic are reporting that he's looking at purchasing a 27% stake in West Ham United. Now, the reason for the 27% stake and not for the 100%, it goes in line with a few things. And I believe this rumor. I believe this one. While I didn't necessarily believe high capital from the start, and then it only went downhill from there, this one's a lot different. And I'll tell you one reason as to why at the end of the video, because it's not that interesting. But the other reasons are the footballing side. It's only 27%. And I think this is what David Sullivan's been wanting all along. David Sullivan's dream, if you like, is to keep his stake at West Ham United, and for someone richer than him, someone that's got loads of money, to come in, purchase a decent stake in the club and pump money into West Ham United. Essentially, the club gets better using someone else's money. That's what David Sullivan's dream for West Ham has always been. This fits in line with it. A 27% stake, it seemed a bit random at first. It still does to some extent. David Gold currently has 35% stake in the club. You'd imagine the 27% is coming from David Gold's bit, if you like. I wouldn't be surprised if it was David Gold that was selling up his part of the club, or at least a part of that he owns in West Ham United. But the other reason for this minority stake is to try and get under the whole LLDC thing, because it is something that's going to be dangled over Sullivan's head. It's here to stay until March 2023, so there's still another 18 months to go. That David Sullivan and David Gold were to sell West Ham United over 200 million. They've got to give a percentage to the LLDC in accordance with the agreement they've got for the London Stadium. So if he only purchases 27% at the minute, then further down the line, he can increase his stake, and Sullivan and Gold are not impacted by that agreement they've got with the London Stadium. So they get more money for selling West Ham United. But yeah, that's the main thing at the minute. That's the big news at the minute, that the Athletic are reporting that he is in line with it. Now, part of the reason, I know a lot of people might be thinking, well, £3 billion is not that much, and I guess it isn't to some extent. You want to run a Premier League club, you're going to need more than £3 billion. However, his partner is also prominent here. His partner is the daughter of the richest man in Czech Republic. Her father, is supposedly worth around about 15-16 billion pounds. The richest man in Czech Republic. His daughter is dating the man that the Athletic is linking to West Ham United. Now, part of the reason I believe this, and I hate doing this type of thing, I do hate it, and I'm a bit uncomfortable with doing it, but I'm going to do it anyway. We sort of got told about it ages ago, and we sort of mentioned on the Patreon website only, because when we do the Patreon thing, we're a bit more open. For example, did you know I live in Stoke-on-Trent right now? You probably don't, but we've told the patrons, because they're going to give us a couple of quid a month. They're probably interested in Hammer's chat, and we can trust them a bit more. The trolling's a lot less. Well, there is no trolling over on the Patreon site, whereas when you do these videos on the main channel and that, you will obviously get trolls, etc., etc. So when we're over there, we're a bit more open about them. If we hear things, we don't mind telling those lot, because we're not going to get any backlash, essentially. And we got told quite a bit ago that actually someone from Czech Republic was interested in purchasing West Ham, or certainly investing in it, and we sort of not dismissed it a little bit. We sort of just left it, we'll wait and see kind of thing. The Athletic are reporting it, and it sort of goes hand in hand to some extent with what we got told a few months ago now. We got told this a couple of months ago, and nothing's come of it since. And it played into our head when looking at the Pi Capital thing. We thought, well, not really heard anything about that, but we've heard something about this guy. We never heard Daniel Kretinsky. To be clear, I didn't know it was him. It was just I knew it was Slavia Prague, someone very rich over in Czech Republic were looking to invest in West Ham United. Now, the rumours are also in the report that this has been going on for a few months now, and it's actually quite far down the line, and that's why they're reporting it now, because the Athletic, by the tone of the article, suggests they're expecting this to go through. They're expecting this to happen, and it's a very serious thing. And the big difference for David Sullivan, as well as it being an investment in Sullivan keeps his shares rather than this aggressive takeover that the Pi Capital were trying to do, is valuation. We know Pi Capital valued West Ham United at 500 million. That was the bid that they claimed to put in for West Ham that was rejected. Now, whether that bid was ever real, whether proof of funds was provided or not, I'm not that bothered in it. The Pi Capital thing was a bit of a joke, but the valuation was a true thing, if you like. That bit was true, whether they wanted to buy the club or not. 500 million they valued at. We know Sullivan valued it more. Apparently, Daniel Kretinsky values West Ham United at around 600 million. Therefore, more in keeping with David Sullivan's valuation of the club as well. And then you can pretty much work out what he's willing to spend on West Ham. If you know that he supposedly values that at 600 million, and he's willing to purchase 27% of the club, you can then work out what he's willing to invest or pay to buy 20% of West Ham United. In the article, though, the more important line, if you like, that was snuck in there, it's a very big article. It goes into in-depth about who Daniel is, far more than, I'll be honest with you, that's where I got my information as to who Daniel Kretinsky is. All that about Sainsbury's, the Royal Mail, all come from The Athletic. The article is in the description below if you want to go read it for yourself. But in there, they also said that this could spell the beginning of the end for GSB. Not just David Gold, but GSB as a group, the trio, Gold, Sullivan, and Karen Brady as well. So there you have it. Interesting news. I'll do a video later with Gonzo where we'll talk about it a bit more in depth. I just wanted to do a video, wanted to react to it a little bit. My immediate reaction is this is the kind of owner I would like. Without knowing too much about him, just as a face value thing, without going far too in depth and stuff, this is the kind of owner I want. He's got evidence. He's been running Sparta Prague for a very long time now. The most successful club in Czech Republic as well. And we've got a few viewers that watch this channel that are based in Czech Republic. They might have converted to West Ham because of Souček, Soufal and Alex Carr. Tell you what, Thomas Souček needs a raise, don't we? We signed him and said, you know any right backs? He's got to go Vladimir Soufal. Do you know any midfield? Oh, yeah, Alex Carr, brilliant. It's almost like David Sullivan's one day has just turned up to Thomas Souček and go, by any chance, right, the right back was really good. Thanks for the centre midfield, but by any chance, do you know a billionaire? And Thomas Souček turned around and said, yes, I do. Funny enough, I do actually know. When I put you in touch with him, kind of thing. So Souček's earning his wages at West Ham, isn't he? But so he's actually ran a football club. He's got years of experience of running a football club, years of experience being heavily involved in some big businesses as well. While the article names some other businesses I've never heard of, I wouldn't have heard of. There's some German ones, there's some the Prague media outlet, there's a French media outlet in there. So he's got fingers in big pies, this guy. But 10% in Sainsbury's is nothing to be sniffed at, is it? He's a billionaire. He's made his own money. He's a good businessman. He's a good businessman. But sometimes you've got the business side of things, because let's face it, Sullivan and Gold, while we can all say are they good businessmen or not kind of thing, they're rich. They're very, very rich. So they've done something right in life and got a bit lucky along the way probably, but most people do. So they've made their own money for themselves. This guy's done just the same. But the question is, can you also run a football club? It's two different things usually. And so far, his evidence, looking at Prague, would suggest, yes, he can. And that's what makes me a bit more appealing to him, if you like. And this is what makes me a bit warmer to him. On the face of it, like I said, on the face of it, he's got a lot of kudos, a lot of footballing, ticking a lot of football boxes on his CV, as well as the business boxes as well. Anyway, there you go. £3 billion he's worth. £3 billion. And of course, at Prague at the minute, they've got Adam Hložek as well, who we're very interested in. So anyway, I'm going to disappear. Hopefully I'll be back a bit later with Gonzo to discuss in a bit more detail. We'll also be recording the Villa preview tonight as well. But possibly exciting times. It just feels different to Pi Capital. Just feels different. And I hope it is. I do hope it is. And I hope that this one has got a little bit more legitimacy behind it as well. I believe it does, though. I believe it does. Anyway, drop a like on the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you're around here, and something going on. We'll catch you in a bit.